Hudson last night asked me, like he a lot of times does. He said, "What are you going to write about?" I said, "I don't know. What should we write about?" And then he told me that he wanted to write about safety, right?
Yeah.
As it pertains to fire, getting out of a burning house. But then it reminded me of something about Hudson. And there's a book called Dante's Inferno. And in Dante's Inferno, Dante loses his wife and wants to go to heaven to see her. And there's a lot more to it than that, but this is the short version. But finds out the only way he can get to heaven is through hell. So, Dante's got to go through the first level of hell. And when Hudson was little, like before he went to school, I think, one day we were outside and he looked up at the moon and said, "Dad, look at the moon." Remember that?
Yeah, I did.
And one of the things that he's always pointing out is how pretty the sky is and how pretty the moon is. And so it was interesting because I remember the first time he pointed out the moon, my first thought was, who cares? And that was in my mind. And then it dawned on me halfway through that thought that the moon looked really beautiful that day.
Yes, it did look beautiful.
And so I thought, why in the world is there something that's there every day and no one notices how beautiful it is, like the sky and the moon? And why did it take a kid to make me see that? And when I read this book, Dante's Inferno, it was interesting because as Dante went through the first level of hell, he was going across a body of water, and he was being picked up by this guy named Boatman Karan. This guy was naked and dirty and just ragged, and he's rowing this boat across the river. Now Dante had an advisor with him. His advisor was Saint Lucia. Now, I'll tell you what Saint Lucia was here in a second. But as Dante and Saint Lucia start going across the water with Boatman Karan, Dante sees these people across the water.
Yes.
And these people are bent over, just crying and shrieking. And Dante's like, whoa, now keep in mind, no one goes to hell willingly, except for Dante. And when Dante gets over there, he sees these people and he asks, who are these people? And Boatman Karan goes, that's Incurvatus, which means bent over, unable to see the moon and the stars.
Oh my God.
These people were complaining and whining and crying. The first level of hell. Yet they couldn't even look up, and that's what Saint Lucia was. Saint Lucia was the saint of vision. I think so many people lose that. Maybe me. And sometimes it takes somebody, like a kid with disabilities of all people, to make us sometimes have to look up and stop complaining about everything in our lives, because there's so much to see and so much to be, happy about. And whether it be just the moon and the stars, or maybe it's just opportunities that are out there. I think a lot of times we just aren't open to seeing what's really there, and we're too busy bent over looking at the ground to even see what's there, and we miss out. So I read this book and I found out that first level, it just hit me, because I'll never forget that day he pointed out the moon. And it's kind of one of those deals where you're thankful for the people that help you to wake up, look up, instead of being bent over. And so to this day, he still points out the sky, don't you, buddy? And how beautiful it is. Got any page?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that's kind of my lesson for the day. So I thought it'd be easier on video than writing, so hopefully everybody reads this and enjoys it or listens to it. I'll maybe write it someday too. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.